Good morning. Namaste. Hi out there. This is Destiny, and today I am going to bring to my subscribers and new members out there today this wonderful article that I have written February 23rd, 2018. And I post all of my articles on my Facebook group page. And as I was going through my Facebook group page this morning, I ran across this article and it just stood out at me. And it was just like saying, Destiny, pay attention. They need to hear this. Give a voice to this today. And I do take some of my articles and I have did videos on them. And this is one that I think it needs a voice. So today, welcome, and I love you guys out there, and I may not say it enough, but I really appreciate all of my subscribers and all of my members who support me, who come to my page and watch my videos, who share my information with others, who give me comments to encourage, inspire, and motivate me, and who give me that information to help me to gain more knowledge and information in other areas. And I thank you. I really do appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And if there is anything that Destiny can do for anyone out there, I'm always open myself up to help you. That is what I do. I help to encourage, motivate, inspire, and to give knowledge, empowerment, and wisdom and knowledge so you can grow to your greater and higher self. So, good morning again. Let's get started. Don't want to make this too long. Let's get started. And I got my notes, as I always do, because I want to share this information. And you know, I've been practicing on trying to not to get so excited, because I can get very emotional when I talk, because a lot of things when I'm talking through my experiences. So when I'm standing up in front of the audience and I'm bringing this information, I'm reliving the things that I have been through. I'm living through great experiences that may have not been so great. And a lot of times when I'm living through experiences that were hard, that were trying, that were painful, I get very emotional, and sometimes I might break down and cry a little bit. But these are all just experiences, and my experiences that I've lived through, and I know these are the things that the Creator wants me to share, so you guys can know that the Creator, He brought me through all this. I survived all the hardships, all the abuses, all the pain, all these ugly things. If He had brought me through it and delivered me into total, absolutely peace, love, happiness, and joy, and He had brought me to my beautiful, authentic, and my greater and higher self, and He had really delivered me where I can love people regardless of how people treat me. You know He could do it for you too. You just got to trust in the universe, trust in your God. So let me get started. I don't want to prolong this. But today, the topic that I am going to be talking about, it's called resonating dead things. Okay? And I'm going to use my notes. And like I said, I'm trying to learn how to slow down, put my emotions under control, because I can get way out there. I get really excited and I get really emotional when I'm telling you my experiences and my stories, and I get a lot of excitement. And a lot of times I'm feeling a lot of the things that I went through. I'm reliving those moments again. But I know that I have to share a lot of the pains and the hurts and a lot of my stories. I have to share these, not just so as for me to relive this all over again, so you all can hear my testimony. So my testimony will help you. And we have to live through experiences. We have to really relive through things a lot of times so other people can reach back and say, wow, I didn't know someone else had felt the same thing, or someone has gone through the same very thing. This thing that I've been covering up and I have been hiding and have not been talking about. They're opening up and they're bearing their heart, they're bearing their soul, and they're bearing their rawness in front of everybody. If they can do this and they have been delivered into a better place, now they have grown to their higher and greater self. I know that the Creator, my God, He can deliver me as well. That's testimony from Destiny has really helped me to gain strength, has helped me to gain momentum, and has helped me to be able to look within myself and say, I got this, I can do this now. I'm with you guys. Let me get started with resonating dead things. I have these notes and we're going to do the notes today because I'm practicing on keeping my composure. And that's why I have to put these notes up here sometimes. Okay. Like I said, this article was written February 23rd, 2018. And I want to put my voice to this and make this into a video. If you want to go and see the article, like I said, you can go to my Facebook group page. And I'm sure you'll find that article. Okay, let's get started. Our superhuman bodies have a funny way of killing things that take up residence within our bodies, that sometimes we believe these things come to give us life. However, we find many things that these uninvited intruders come to suck the life out of us instead of giving us that vibrant life that the Creator, He has purpose for us to live. It is also funny how we try holding on to those things that no longer have any purpose. They have no form of life sustenance, and they simply have no meaning. But we just keep running back to them, trying to hold on to it and try to breathe life into them. The hardest thing sometimes is for humans is to let go. Is to let go and move on. And you got to sometimes realize, hey, you know, that thing, it's lifeless. It's useless to me now, you know. And sometimes I got to walk away from things so I can allow the Creator to move me into another direction. And that direction will bring me growth. But if I'm trying to stay back to the thing that I have been with all my life, where it's never gave me any hope or any purpose or any reason to who I am and to why I am growing to be what the Creator wants me to be, if it never has given me any push toward that, then it's time to let go. I mean, really, try to let go. Those things simply have no meaning, or it had no meaning, or it would never have any meaning, and it's time to drop it, let it go, and move forward. Many times we find ourselves resuscitating things in our lives that are so dead to the core, and nothing in this world, it can ever bring it back to life. And you think that you have the power to do it. You be out there huffing and puffing and breathing on it and hugging on it and crying over it and kissing on it and speaking to it. You got to come back. I need you back. I got to have you. If the Creator snatched it from you, baby, you got to let it go. You have to let it go. And you got to believe and trust your mighty, all-powerful God, your Creator, that He knows what's best for you. And that is just not the only thing that He has for your life. It may have been sent into your life just for a season, or just for a reason, or just for a lesson. We have to determine which one. And we have to allow the universe, our God, to be able to say, okay, that season is over. That reason now has been revealed. And it's time to move on into your purpose. We find ourselves sometimes, and a whole lot of us, we find ourselves into dead marriages, into dead relationships, into dead jobs, dead dreams, dead spiritual beliefs. We all out here on these different journeys, We traveling, doing things a lot of times on our own. It's just dead ends, dead roads, dead roadblocks. I mean, everything is just dead, dead, it's dead, and we still keep running up against it. We keep moving up against it and speaking into it, and it's not addressing you. You don't miss your road that you should have turned on a long time ago, but you're still trying to run up against these dead things, and it's just not coming back to life. The Creator, your God, has shut the door, and you need to recognize that door is no longer open, it's no longer available for me to have access to. You have to pick yourself up, wipe off your face, your tears, pull up that heart that has been blown out of your chest, and then puck up those cheeks and put a smile on your face and say, my God is greater than all the problems that I be going through or that I'm going through, that I have to face. He is far greater and bigger than all these things. And you got to believe that. You really have to believe that with all of your heart. And we got to learn to let all these dead things go. And there are so many more dead things that we keep holding on to, and we keep breathing over, and we keep crying over. And the list goes on, and it can get quite lengthy. When we find that these things are no longer breathing in us, they no longer has a heartbeat and has dried up as scattering dust, then why is it so hard for us to let those dead things go? Why is it so hard to let those dead things be laid to rest? Why is it so hard to look back and say, hey, I enjoyed the moments. I enjoyed the time that we had together. I enjoyed all the fun. I enjoyed the excitement. I enjoyed the lessons that I learned. But I have now to move on to something different and just say, hey, it's time to move forward. Our biggest problem, people, let me tell you, is letting go. We hate separation. We become so attached to things. We come so to the point where we have to own things. It makes us feel good that we are owning things. This is mine, mine, mine. You know, we don't want to give up things. We attached ourselves to things, and we feel like that we have to stay to them or stay attached or sewn to those things for all our lives. And like I said, we're not sitting here all the time to be in a situation or into a place or be too attached to things for our whole entire life. Like I said, some things come for a season, some things come for a reason, and some things just come to teach us lessons. We have to determine, and we have to learn to know when the season is over and the reason has been confined, and that the lesson has been gained with the knowledge that you need, so you can run on with that knowledge and you can pass it on to someone else. And you know, guys, Destiny gets out here and she's the creator. My God always started putting more stuff in front of me. But anyway, why is it so hard so many times to really let those things go? We find those things are no longer breathing in us. They no longer has a heartbeat. And like I said, it has dried up. And it just dried up. And like I said, the wind has taken hold of it and it's scattered it all over the place. And we running around from every corner we can find, trying to pick up every little piece of it, every little part of the dust. And we are trying to put it all back together instead of letting it go. Letting it go. So why it's so hard to let those dead things be put to rest and to move on to those things that are thriving to live. A dead marriage that has cost you blood, sweat, and tears. And then you keep going back and trying to resuscitate that dead marriage. Dead relationships that have run you over with the highest speed. And the purpose was to take you out for good. But you can get back up from your run over and you're still trying to put that dead relationships or those dead relationships back together. can sit here all day long. I know we can. And we can recall a million of these lifeless things that has left us with no meaning, left us lifeless, left us in a situation today that we may not quite understand. Why did it happen? How did it happen? Why should it happen? Whatever. No question it. Just know that it was that time where it came to that place that something else has to come to replace that. In order for you to replace things, sometimes we gotta let the dead leaves just be blown off the trees. Sometimes we gotta allow ourselves to be able to shed some old skins so we can grow new things. New things are constantly happening. That the Creator is trying to get you out there to see the great new things. But stop allowing these things to control you. And like I said, learn to just, hey, pick up yourself. Even though I know a lot of times it's still hurting, it's still painful, a lot of times it's still hard to stand up there and just act like, it never happened. But just say it happened for a reason. And you gotta just believe it and move on, move on. Just move on. And like I said, stop sitting here and recalling these things and crying out and trying to run around and find them and trying to bring them back into your life again. Stop crying over them. I don't know, just start laughing. Say, oh yeah, well, think about the joy. I told you, think about the fun, think about the excitement, think about the things that you have learned. Think about the love that you never have received, you never had walked into that relationship. They all were lessons and they were all for a reason. And it will happen just for some seasons. Okay? So, laugh about them. Just laugh about them. And just allow yourself to say, okay, that time of life is over. And just hide them into the deepest part of your mind. Just hide them in and just say, okay, or just take them and just push them away. Get them out. Let them go. Or you can hide them in a part of your mind so you can use them as testimonies and stories so you can share with someone else. But these things now no longer should hurt you or bring the pain as it was when you were first standing in that moment at that present time. But until we move to the rhythm of the things that are still breathing, the things that are still vibrating, the things that are still being energized, and the things that the universe is pulling us with the frequency to elevate us to our greater and higher self, then we are no more than dead ourselves. So, now let me make clear that there are many things that can be resuscitated. And there are many of these things that can come back to life with a much greater value and a much greater worth. And that's called discernment. I got to have discernment now to recognize and know that the things that no longer serves me are those are things I have to allow to let go. And those are things that I have learned lessons, and those things that came for a season, those are things that came for a reason. But then there are certain things that I may have to let go of for a while because the Creator is bringing me into a greater and a higher lesson in those things. So He may possibly bring you back to some of these things, but not because you are trying to hold on to them, not because you are trying to keep them alive yourself. You got to allow the Creator, your God, to work in His own time, in His own way. You got to allow God to do it His way. Stay out of the way. A lot of times we are always in the way, and that's what makes things so bad. And that's what delays things. Because we constantly trying to be our God, our own God, and fixing things. I mean, we are gods, like I said, we are God's little children. But we got to know our place. We got to know our parts to play in the things that the Creator has given us. And you can say that those things that do come back to life, they do come around for a second time, or second chance, those things were meant to be. And those things were meant to be by your almighty Creator universe. This is when your soul consciousness reaches down and pull you up out of your ego. When those things that is meant to be, those things that meant to return, those things that meant to be taught again as a higher and a greater lesson, that's when your soul consciousness will pull down into your ego, your clinging ego, your dark night of the soul, and it will put the ego in its place. And you gotta allow the ego to go. You gotta allow the creator, your soul consciousness, to work itself through you. Man, your soul consciousness is always wanting you to move and grow into your higher and greater self. And like I said, it will reach down and will pull out of the ego clinging and that darkness of the ego, and it will war and it will pull and it will fight so it can get you from your lower subconscious state up to the higher conscious states where it wants you to be. But you are fighting against your God. You are fighting against the plan and the purpose that He had for your life, and you can't let go of the ego because you grew up with the ego, and the ego raised you, and it programmed you, and it taught you everything that you know, and it brought every pain and every hurt, every abuse, everything that you can possibly think of in your life, and you still can't let it go. Let it go. Your God has so much greater that you can't even imagine. Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, even can't it enter the heart of man, the things that your Almighty God, your Creator, has prepared for you. These are the things that will live far beyond our own thoughts and our imagination, because these things were predestined to be and appointed to complete us in the plans of our God, our divine Creator, our Maker. These things will go on living, and these things will go on thriving and flourishing and blessing us. And it will bless others in our lives that come into our lives repeatedly. It's only the things that you keep resuscitating and you keep resuscitating that comes back to life. When it's not in the plans, and when it's not in the hands, and when it's not in the purpose of your Almighty God and Creator, those are the things that you resuscitate. They will only come back to destroy you permanently if you don't know how to drop it and let it go and let God be the master and controller of your life and the things that He has brought and sent for your life. These things will permanently destroy you before moving on to attack another person's life and the life of other people and your dreams as well, and other people's dreams and their purpose as well as your own purpose that they were predestinated to live by their Creator. So what we need to do first is to recognize what is of our divine being and what is not. And that is what you call discernment. You got to grow wiser. You got to grow in the knowledge and the truth of your divine God, your divine Creator, your higher power. You got to know. You got to use discernment, and He will show you. He will show you if you open your eyes and your ears and your heart up, and you shut down your mouth. Sometimes you talk too much. We talk all the time. We always trying to run things and tell things and do things our way. Whew. So, our divine Creator has all things under His control. So what we need to do first is to recognize what is of our divine being and what is not. We must die. Let me say that again. What we need to do first is to recognize what is of our divine being and what is not, and what must die, and what must live, and what must be put to rest permanently. Secondly, we must be willing to let go of the dead things, bury them in their grave, and move forward to live for greater things that will bring us fulfillment and completeness and peace and love into our lives. And I'm say this to you. Please please don't return to the grave in attempt to dig up those dead things. Please do not return to the grave in attempt to dig them back up. Do you want to make your grave inside of that dead thing? Or you want to make your grave beside that dead thing? Or you want to get down in the grave with it? I don't think so. I know I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I choose life. Choose you this day who you will serve. You can choose life or death, and I choose life. And I don't want to be buried inside a dead thing that has no longer purpose, no longer no life, and I want to be alive, kicking and moving it, and pushed into that. No, I don't think you would either. So, then ask yourself this question. Do I want to live? Do I want to live? And I'm sure that your answer to that question will be yes. So if you want to live, then you stop resuscitating these useless dead things in your life. Please, please hear this. You got to move on, for life will grow in ways that you can ever imagine. Once it becomes lifeless, it's dead. Believe me. Once it becomes lifeless, once it becomes breathless, it's dead. And you can't do nothing about it. You can't bring it back to life. If it's meant to be, and if it's meant to live again, the Almighty God and Almighty power of the universe and the Creator, He has a way of doing things. He will bring it back. And that's how we transcend from one place to the next. And we live ourselves over and over again, but not because of us, but because of our divine power, our God. So I got to tell you again, stop resuscitating these usually dead things in your life and just move on. For life will grow in ways that you could ever imagine. And like I said, once it's dead, once it becomes lifeless, once it becomes breathless, I'm telling you, it is dead. So I encourage you to save your breath, bury the dead things, throw the dirt on it. You want to add some more dirt, making sure that it's not coming back up. Put the dirt on it and you move on with your life. You move on living, being your best and your greater version. You live on being what the Creator, your God, has created you to be, and you live out your purpose and the plans that He has for your life. You become authentic, your beautiful, authentic, your higher and greater constant state of being. Sometimes the things that we allow to come into our lives have to die in order for us to live. I have met a lot of people, but it wasn't until they hit the bottom of their life before they looked to their higher power, their God, to lift them up and even believe that there was life beyond the deadly things that had come back into their lives. So don't live with the dead things that's sucking the life out of you and causing you to forfeit your chance to live mightily, to live authentic, to live at peace, to live in perfect love, to live as that light that shines in a dark world, to live your higher, greater constant state of being. I'm trying to tell you guys, you got to continue to move ourselves into the timing of the universe. All these dead things, we got to learn to let go. These things that suck the life out of us, we got to learn to let go. These things that is costing us to forfeit our chance to live our greater and more powerful self, we got to learn to let go so our God and our divine Creator can use these dead things in this great plan of our spiritual journey, our spiritual awakening, and for us to be able to go out there and shine that light in a dark world so we can shine our light on the path of those who are still sleeping. And I know it's hard to let go of things that have become so comfortable to live with in your life. Even when those things could be damaging you, those things are useless. It no longer has no purpose, no reason. It doesn't even have a place in your life sometimes because it been there. And you want to hold on to it. And we don't like giving up things. We become comfortable. And I know sometimes it gets very hard. It gets very hard to let go and become so comfortable to live with in your life, even when those things, like I said, they're damaging and they're useless. However, we have lived with these dead things for so long and they have become an addiction. We get addiction. Or they become a crutch to have something or someone to hold on to. Something that I can touch and something that I can feel. Something that will fill the empty void in my life. You don't care what extreme that you had to put yourself through. I'm not ready to let go of it because I got to feel it again. I got to hold it again. I got to touch it again. I got to kiss up on it again. I know it's not moving and I know it's not no longer talking to me. I know it's not longer in my life anymore. It's not around me, but I just got to go back and get it again because I want to have one last moment in romance with it. The act of letting go is much easier, and I know it's a lot easier than said than done. Ask your divine creator, your God, to help you. He will hold no good thing from those who walk right before him. He will help you as long as you're willing to help yourself, as long as you're willing to open your heart and your soul up to the universe and you just trust the universe. He will help you. He certainly will help you to get beyond that. The act of letting go. He will definitely help you. We all go through periods in our life where we try to hold on to memories. We try to hold on to people. And we try to hold on to things. We just got to hold on to them. They've been in my life all my life. They've been there with me. We grew up together. We were friends since second grade. And here it's 50 years later, and I got to go back and get them. And I've been in this marriage, and all you had was pain and hurt and a lot of abuse. And there was some good joys and things, but the majority of your life was abuse in that marriage. It was lies and it was deceits. It was all kinds of things. But I gotta still get one more chance. Because I think I can make it right. You can't make anything right. It's not in your hands and not in your power. You better give it over to the universe and move on. Let go of those bad memories. Let go of those bad experiences, those bad things and that you had